says, in any flourishing fighting city, you need the new breed coming through. Of course, we've got youngsters Conor Benn, Katie Taylor on the bill as well, but a young man in Marcus Morrison that's really ready to explode on to major titles in 2017. And Marcus looking to end the year with a bang.
Yeah, it's a massive bill once again. And I'm glad to be a part of it, only a small part, but no, I can't wait to get out there Saturday night, and I've got a tough opponent. He's durable, and I'm looking forward to showing the people of Manchester what I'm capable of.
And already WBC international champion. Phil, 2017 is a big year for you with some major titles.
Yeah, 2017 is definitely a year where I'll be stepping up, and you'll see me in some good fights, and some good 50-50 fights, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready.
Another fight I can't wait for is the #1 ranked heavyweight in world boxing, Luis Ortiz, against this man in front of me, David the White Rhino Allen. I mean, this man, one, is a joy to work with. As soon as we started working with Luis Ortiz, I got a private message on Twitter saying, please get me that fight, stick me in with Ortiz. He did it with Dillian Whyte on 2 or 3 weeks' notice, but this time has had a proper camp. Sparring with Dillian Whyte, he's in great shape. We know he's a huge underdog in the fight. But David Allen, this is an opportunity that you were absolutely desperate to take, and you got your wish for Saturday night.
Yeah, Luis Ortiz is probably one of the best heavyweights in the world. If he's the best heavyweight in the world, I can let you know Saturday night. I was going to say something quite funny, but he sat closer than I anticipated. So I'm just going to crack on with the sensible stuff. Yeah, I know how big a challenge it is. It's probably a bigger challenge than the Whyte fight, but I believe I'm a lot better fighter now than I was then. I've got a lot of respect for him. I don't think he's a great fighter, but I don't shy away from any challenge. And come Saturday night, we'll see what happens. I fancy taking 4 or 5 rounds lead, see what he's got. He's shown that he's good on top. We'll see what he's like when little fat kid gets on top of him, start giving it him back. We'll see what he's like then, But yeah, it's a big ask, but I'm really excited. It's a great show as well. So thanks for letting me annoy you, Eddie, and getting me on.
Where does this mentality come from, Dave? You want to fight anyone, don't you? You don't care who it is. I mean, Dillian Whyte was a big step up for you, but now you move into one of the most feared heavyweights in the world, but with absolutely no fear yourself.
Yeah, I was brought up this way. Don't shy away from anybody. The Dillian Whyte fight didn't go to plan. If I'd have won that, I wouldn't have been fighting Ortiz now. I'd have got the correct fights, but the Ortiz fight came up. So, he's the best heavyweight in the world. So what? Who cares? It's a fight. I fought. I'll fight for anything. I'll fight anyone for anything. It doesn't matter. This isn't about money. It's not about anything else. It's about pride. I want to beat #1 heavyweight in the world. I want to be recognised one of the best heavyweights in the world and get to the very top. And we'll see Saturday. I'm very confident. I'm not come here to lie down. I don't lie down for anybody. I will not lie down for this man either. I only see this going one way. I see me getting Luis Ortiz out there later on. I think a good fighter, but I'm going to get on top of him, He ain't going to get me out there. Don't flatter me in around the 2. And then when I start giving it him back, then we'll see.
Thanks, Dave. Refreshing attitude. Jay, welcome back. Obviously, welcome to the UK, full stop. Had you over in Monaco. It was a great experience. Obviously, the fight was a little bit frustrating, but now onwards and upwards, closing 2016 with a big bang, and then moving on to that World Championship fight in your mind in 2017.
Well, it's great, and it's good to be back, Eddie. We're excited. We can't say much, but ready for Saturday. Luis is ready to fight. We respect David for taking the fight. Luis just hopes he doesn't do what Malik did. Malik said he was coming to give him a boxing lesson and ran for 12 rounds. He's ready. Luis is ready. We're ready to go.
And a question for Luis Ortiz. Obviously, Malik Scott was frustrating, but now ready for a great fight on Saturday.
Yeah, claro, porque va a ser lo que no hizo Dillian Whyte.
David. He said, of course, he was frustrated, but he's coming Saturday to fight, and he's gonna do to David what Dillian Whyte couldn't do. He's gonna stop him.
Look forward to that fight. One fight I think could steal the show, could be fight of the night, is a wonderful fight for the Lonsdale belt, and that's the champion Jose Burton against the challenger Frank Buglioni. Jose Burton's been waiting for these big fights for a long time. Obviously it was a fight that was scheduled for a couple of months previously. Didn't work out. Frank Buglioni picked up a cut in preparation for that fight. We've seen Buglioni in big fights, challenging Chudinov, challenging Kamitsky, and now he gets a chance to move up and challenge for the British title at 175-pound weight division. Frank, we've seen the various clips going around. You look in great shape and confident ahead of Saturday night.
Yeah, well, this is what I love. I love boxing, and every part of it, the training, the build-up, the weigh-in. It's all just a great opportunity for me, and I'm relishing it. And I'm going to go in there and really put the skills to the test. I've trained the hardest I've ever trained. I moved up to light heavy, so I feel very strong, very confident. My sparring has shown that, and yeah, I'm looking forward to taking that belt.
One thing that surprised me a little is that the bookies have made Jose Burton a clear favourite in this fight. Does that surprise you as well?
Well, I mean, he's the unbeaten guy, and it's kind of my second fight at light heavy, so I'm the unknown. But after this fight, I certainly won't be the unknown in British domestic clashes. And
what do you take from the amateur stuff? And I saw a couple of clips from the promotional video. Do you take the mental edge going into this fight, or is that...
Yeah, of course.
It was 8 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, your mentality doesn't really change. I've seen Jose firsthand. He's obviously a skillful fighter, but when the going gets tough, I've seen him quit. And
when have you seen me quit?
I see you quit when I nearly knocked you out in our first fight in the amateurs. I also see you quit every time we was training on the GB trials.
I'm going to knock you back.
On the GB trials, how did you get on? How did you get on the GB trials? We went to the GB trials. Yeah.
Whose dad?
Hold on.
Full of the GB.
Answer the question. How did you get on in the GB trials?
You was on the GB team for ages.
No, we all went for the trials ourselves.
All right,
me,
so you're more
you,
skilled boxer than me.
and Kurt Garvey.
All right. Who won the ABAs when you got beat?
Squads.
Who won the ABAs when you got beat?
I'm just saying, who got on the squads?
You got on the squads, but I won.
Jose, all you did was walk around with your head down saying, I'm ill, I couldn't be here, I've got an injury, excuses after excuses after excuses.
I had 2 days notice, and it was a fitness test.
Well, there you go, there's the excuses.
2 days notice and it was fitness
That's what I was asking for,
okay.
The excuses.
Alright then, we'll see who has the excuse on the night.
Jose Burton, a big fight for you, and this is now a chance for you to really establish yourself as a top 175-pound fighter, and we know you're bang up for this fight.
I'm bang up for this fight, I can't wait. He pulled out with 5 weeks to go on the last time with a nick, the tiniest nick. If I had that same cut, I'd be still fighting that night. But
you would, because you ain't got the experience. You would have gone in that fight and you've got stopped and cut.
Beat. Every time you've stepped up, you've been beat. You've been knocked out. You got beat off Chudinov, who's a small man, and
who no one's going near. Carry on.
Who no one's going there. He's too small. He's too small. And Lee Markham, he would have beat you if you wasn't such a big name, a ticket seller, right? He would have got the win over you. But you can sell the tickets. That's why we got a draw.
I hope you're getting your confidence off my past results. That's what I hope.
That's it. Yeah.
If you're drawing your confidence from my past results.
Yeah. You've had 3 different trainers trying to get you out of bad habits. If you can't get out of your bad habits with tips, you can't get out of bad habits. Your bad habit is getting hit, and I'll knock you spark out, guaranteed.
Well, let's see it.
Is that the way this fight ends?
This is the way the fight ends. Couple of rounds. If he chooses to box, he'll get outboxed and he'll get knocked out. And if he chooses to fight, which I hope he really does, he'll get knocked out early. So
you want to hope it's 2 rounds? I've seen your stamina, mate.
You see my stamina? Okay then. Let's hope for your sake, stamina comes into it, eh?
Final predictions, Frank Buglioni?
I think he'll quit. I think he'll quit inside about 8 rounds.
I think he's a muppet.
Okay. I can't wait for this fight. I think it's a wonderful fight. 2 very, very good young fighters, and may the best man win on the night. A young man who I can't wait to see back in action has had a particularly frustrating few months, obviously, since the huge Carl Frampton fight back in this city. It's Scott Quigg. Obviously broke his jaw in that fight. A man that dedicates his entire life to the sport of boxing, and when that was taken away from him, we saw a broken man, to be honest with you. But now, rebuilt, stronger than ever, up at 126 pounds at featherweight against a very, very tough fighter in Jose Cayetano, who's coming off a strong win as well. Scott, it's fantastic to see you back. We know you live and breathe for boxing, and the smile on your face shows us how excited you are for Saturday night.
Yeah, I think, like I said, the smile on my face does, it shows I'm so excited to be back. I lived boxing, you know, and when it was took away from me, couldn't be in the gym. I turned to food, and I turned into a right pudding. But it's like I said, it's glad to be. I'm buzzing to be back, especially on a stage like this. You know, I was the last fight pay-per-view event. You know, I was headlining it with Frampton, and it was a massive card. And to be given the platform to come back to on another massive card pay-per-view event to show and remind everyone what I can do. And it's been a hard road, being out of the gym, not being able to train, and it was a frustrating time, and that's made me a stronger person because, you know, it was hard to deal with. My mum was, you know, kicking me out of bed at first, saying, come on, get out running, get to train, go to eat well, because there was a point where it's like, I was down. I don't like using the word depressed because people, you know, suffer from depression, but I was, you know, suffering with a bit of depression. I was down, but I come through that, and like I say, I've not looked back since, and now I'm thriving, and I can't wait to, you know, get in the ring on Saturday night and show everyone what I'm about.
Obviously, this time up at featherweight, and a real test for you in Cayetano. You know, you wanted to come back in a real fight, and you realised the threat of him on Saturday. Yeah,
he's a threat. He's coming off the biggest win of his career. He's riding high confidence. I'm coming off, you know, the biggest, you know, low of my career. So, you know, he's riding high confidence, but I am. You know, the training's gone absolutely perfect. It couldn't have been any better. I've been training with a smile on my face, and I know the dangers he brings. You know, I'm expecting a tough fight, but one that I wanted to come back in a fight like this, and I'm sure I'm going to come through it, and at 126 you're going to see the best of me.
Look forward to that. Jose Cayetano, welcome. We know this is a big fight for you. You're coming off a very impressive win against Santiago, and very confident going into this fight.
Primero que nada quiero agradecer a Dios por darme esa oportunidad.
I want to say thank you to God for giving me the opportunity.
Y al promotor.
And the promoter.
Sé que es una pelea importante, la más importante de mi carrera.
It's probably the most important fight I've ever had.
Voy a dar lo mejor de mí para salir con la mano en alto el sábado.
And hopefully I'll be the winner.
Thank you, Jose. Talking about another great fight, and this is a fight that I really can't wait for as a fan, is Luis Concepcion against Calliafai. Luis Concepcion is one of the best world champions in world boxing, two-weight world champion, obviously coming off that huge win in Japan against Kohei Kono, who was the target for Calliafai as well. And when they had that fight, Calliafai texted me straight after the fight and said, please get me Luis Concepcion. We went out, we did that, and now you have a fight on your hands between two exceptional elite super flyweights for the WBA world title. Firstly, I'm going to speak to the champion, Luis Concepcion. Welcome. We saw you in a very lively workout last night, and you and your team appear very confident ahead of Saturday.
Muchas gracias, le doy las gracias a Dios por estar aquí en esta conferencia de prensa, le doy las gracias al promotor, y bueno, estoy muy contento de estar aquí, defendiendo mi cinturón por primera vez, el que gané en Japón.
I'm showing you my belt for the first time. Thank you to everybody for getting me here, and thank you to the promoter.
Una nueva oportunidad en mi vida aquí en Manchester. Creo que voy a dar un gran espectáculo porque vengo preparado, mentalizado físicamente, y voy a defender mi cinturón con éxito con Calliafai.
Physically and mentally, it's the best spot I've been ever, and hopefully my belt, I'm going to beat Calliafai. I know I can beat him, and we'll see on Saturday anyway.
Muchas gracias por lo presente.
Thank you to everybody in Manchester.
Bueno, estoy preparado y voy a darle un gran espectáculo el día 10 de diciembre.
I'm prepared to put up a very, very good fight.
Thank you, Luis Concepcion. Calliafai, I think the only way we can describe this is your moment of truth. You've had the apprenticeship, you've been all around the country, you've had the fights, and now this is your moment on Saturday night to become Birmingham's first ever world champion.
Yeah, you know, it's been a long time. I've been waiting for my shot. It's finally here. It hasn't been a great training camp. It's been bloody brutal. It's been hard work, but it's been 18 years of hard work, and I'm here. And I believe it's destiny. I believe it's my time to rip that title from Lewis Conception. He's a great champion. He's a great fighter. But I just believe it's my time, and with the ability and with everything I have all the tools to do a really good job on him on Saturday night.
We know about Lewis Conception's style. We've seen him time and time again. I'm sure you and Max have studied him as well. And I'm sure you know as well, you're going to have to go into the trenches on Saturday night to beat this very, very tough world champion.
Oh yeah, without doubt. I know I've got to put in the performance of my life out on Saturday night. But that's what I'm willing to do. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'll do whatever I have to do to make sure I come out of that ring victorious on Saturday night and be world champion.
Thanks, Cal. A wonderful fight, and Max McCracken here as well. Huge opportunity for Cal Yafai to become world champion on Saturday night. As we're in Manchester, just before we go to the final fight to discuss, I'm just going to pass over to Joe Gallagher to say a few words. Obviously, he has 4 fighters on the bill on Saturday night. Joe, a very brief analysis of those fights, if you will.
Well, what time's Chisora?
Exactly, about 2 minutes, please.
Do you want me to apple and pears here?
No, just the normal.
Oh, alright, okay. Now, listen, it's a great night. It's been a good training camp for my lads. I'm glad it's over. My arms are smashed to bits with the big hitters that we've got in here Saturday night. As you heard from Marcus, really one to watch. I know there's some publications out there picking him as one of the kids to watch in 2017. It's a good last outing for him before he moves into more domesticated titles, Commonwealths, British for 2017. I'm delighted to get Scott Quick having a difficult year, losing to Carl Frampton, being around the big fights, Anthony Crolla, Linares, Liam Smith out in Dallas, Stephen Smith, Connecticut, being in around the camp. You can see him itching. Last night, if you were there at the public arena, I said to him he was bristling. Very much like and he might, I don't know if he minds me saying this, very much like a puppy. You get the lead, you're about to take you for a walk, he's jumping and yelping, he can't wait to get in that ring Saturday night, and then the year on a good high. Confidence gone really well. Then it goes on to the big hitters, Jose Burton, Frank Buglioni. The amateur fight of the year was voted by Boxing News when the last fought in the amateurs, the GB box office, and Boxing News this week have picked as the fight of the night come Saturday night. There's nothing more to say. You've heard from Frank, good fighter, operated at a good level, and Jose Burton, the undefeated British champion. It's his first defence, and I'm sure he'll be a very proud man in that arena Saturday night, walking into that ring black belt and defending it successfully. But then after that, then we've got Callum Smith. He's 36 minutes away from challenging for a world title. No slip-ups. I've heard things where people think we're overlooking Luke Blackledge. We're not overlooking Luke Blackledge. Callum Smith is in the form as he is for Rocky Fielding. He's taking this threat very serious. It's his first defence of the British title, and he wants to go in there. It's going to be very proud for him and for the Smith brothers and the two who have fought and defended British titles before. This is a first for Callum Smith. Luke Blackledge, good fighter, had good wins on his record against Cameron, Markham. And it's durable, so they've lost. Boxing doesn't work that way. He lost to Rocking Around, Callum beat Rocking Around. Boxing doesn't work that way. Bit of a rabbit shot that caught Luke cold and saying in the first fight, we're treating this as a very serious challenge. I've nicknamed Callum Smith Ivan Drago. He's punching that hard at the moment, my hands are in bits. But like I say, 36 minutes, all the lads know what's on the line Saturday night, and we're proud to be part of Manchester Boxing, another massive night here at the arena. And get there early because we've got to see some good fights, and like I say, get behind the local talent like Marcus Morris and Connor Ben, all the young kids that'll be on the bill early. Thank you.
Without a breath, a single breath. We're going to go to the last fight now, and as Joe Gallagher said, 36 minutes away from challenging for the unified super middleweight championship. The WBC have ordered that part of the fight between James DeGale and Badu Jack is that the winner must sign, which they have, and agree to fight Callum Smith next with no interim bouts, nothing at all. So a huge fight for the British super middleweight title. Firstly, Luke Blackledge. Luke, a great opportunity for you. As Joe said, the Rocky Fielding fight kind of irrelevant, and we know this is a big opportunity for you to spoil the party.
Yeah, definitely. I've been given a massive opportunity, and I'm going to take it with both hands. You know, Saturday night, it's exciting times. I've had a mint training camp. Everything's gone to plan. So, you know, the best man will win Saturday night.
Obviously, Callum Smith, a great fighter, #1 in the world, but you feel like that you can come in there and gate crash the party and spoil the plans for that unification fight?
Yeah, most definitely. Callum is, he's nearly on the world scene. So I'm not going to sit here and start, downing him because he is a top fighter. I've been given the opportunity, and like I said, I'm going to take it with both hands.
Thank you. Callum, a lot of pressure for you on Saturday night, probably not just to win, but to look good as well. Obviously, no slip-ups, big banana skin ahead of that big unification fight next year.
Yeah, I've said it before, it's not just about winning, it's about the performance for me. I've got to look good doing it. I believe Luke's coming to win, it's a big opportunity for him, so I've got to expect the best possible version of him, but given that, I think if the best version of him comes up, then I should still have way too much for him. I believe I can become a world champion next year, and if that's the case, then I should look good on Saturday night. And it's about the performance, and I want people to sit back after Saturday and say, yeah, I give him a chance with either Jack or De Gale. So that's been the motivation really. It's more just the performance. I need a big win.
Although we thought that world title fight would come around this time, you have had 3 fights in 6 months, so you've been keeping nice and busy, but more motivated for this one, being an all-British title fight than perhaps previous performances at the O2 and at Goodison Park.
Yeah, I know my opponent. I'm not just getting, you're fighting Hungarian or you're fighting Argentinian. I know Luke and I know he's coming to win. It's a big opportunity for him, so it has given me that bit more motivation. And plus I know it's my last one before, hopefully fighting for the world title. So again, I need to perform. I can't be complacent and switch off in a fight. I've got to go in and look like a future world champion, and I believe I will.
Thank you. We can't wait for that one, for the British super middleweight title fight. A huge card. Thanks for everyone here. Tomorrow, Conor Benn will also be arriving up in Manchester. Katie Taylor will be at the press conference as well with Anthony Joshua. And in about 15 minutes' time, we'll have the final press conference for Derek Chisora and Dillian Whyte for the British Heavyweight Championship. We're going to have head-to-heads up here now with all the fighters, and then the guys will be available for one-on-ones. Thank you very much.
This way, Callum. Luke. Perfect. Luke, down to the middle. And facing each other as well, please, Cap. Great, thank you.
Cheers, Lewis.
That's great, Dave. Can we face each other, please? Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you very much. Scott.
Jose, Scott. Perfect. And face each other, please.
Face to face.
Perfect. Thank you.
Lewis.
And then face to face. Perfect. Thank you. Straight to the camera, OC. Frank. OP to the front. Perfect. Face each other, please. Perfect, thanks.
Hey Fight fans, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, make sure you go ahead and do so, because Behind the Gloves is worldwide with our coverage. All you have to do is click this little link right here.